The Szechuan sauce! Hey there guys, DeAndre here, and welcome to another episode of Subtract Reactions, where we subtract the bullshit and give you guys honest reactions. I'm so sorry for that cringy ass intro. My Rick and Morty impressions, hang on. I'm Tony Rick, bitch! But apparently they're remaking Jumanji, alright? It sounds so... But Jumanji, they're remaking Jumanji, or rebooting, or whatever the fuck it's called right now. Keep fucking up. But Jumanji, they're rebooting, or I don't even know if it's a continuation. Is it Jumanji 2? I don't know. Apparently The Rock's in this, Kevin Hart's in this shit too, so it's basically like Central Intelligence, Ride Along, motherfucking... Jack Black's in this motherfucker? Like, he's right there. I'm looking at this guy. But he's in the forest, so it's like Tropic Thunder mixed with King Kong. I don't fucking know. But my younger brother is like right off camera. You can't see him. But he's watching this too because this came out the year I was born. Jumanji. I was born in 1995. Yes, I'm a fucking millennial. Holy shit. But yeah, so this movie is near and dear to my heart. Rest in peace, Robin Williams. God, I hope they do this shit justice. And yeah, let's jump into it.
Wow.
Sony, so there's going to be product placement.
Spencer, Bethany, Fridge, Martha, you're all here for a reason.
Hey, person walking!
You should be thinking about who you are and who you want to be. You'll have plenty of time to figure that out while you're cleaning out the basement.
Are you gonna help or are you too pretty? I'm too pretty.
Yo, what's this?
A game for those who seek to find a way to leave their world behind. Jumanji. Pick a character.
That's a video game.
Which one do I pick?
I don't think it matters that much.
Bruce Finbar. Sounds like a badass.
I'll be the curvy genius.
Dr. Smolder Gravestone.
Guess I'm Ruby Roundhouse.
Okay, that's kind of cool. Oh shit! What? There's the drums.
Guys. Oh, man.
Where's the rest of me?
What?
My God. Rich?
Yeah, I'm Fridge. Who are you?
Me, Spencer.
Who is she?
Martha?
Why are you wearing half a shirt and short shorts in the jungle?
I think we got sucked into Jumanji. We'd become the avatars we chose.
So that means
Bethany?
oh, Bethany. Don't look at it. No!
I'm an overweight middle-aged man. I don't have my clarinet, and all I see around here is power.
When I know how to talk, 2 feet of my body.
Damn, that is a man right there. Don't cry, don't cry. Don't cry, it's gonna be okay. This is a video game, which means we all have special skills. That was so intense. I can't even with this place.
Watch your step in here.
Maybe we're all in a coma.
What? That old game machine must select you. Oh my God! You better get in there and save her.
I'm not gonna get in there. You get in there.
Yeah, I got a backpack. You don't get in water with a backpack. Everybody knows that.
Okay.
So Jumanji went from a board game to a video game.
It went from a board game to a video game, that's right. And, I don't know. It's interesting. It's very interesting.
You know, the movie has The Rock, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black. You know, it's most likely going to be fun.
Yeah, I think it's going to be funny. But it's a little, man. I think this is going to be a funny movie. But I don't know, man. It's kind of hard to, like, imagine this being Jumanji. Because Jumanji is just such a classic film. And, like, the board game and everything, like, here's the thing. When that movie first came out, a lot of people said it was kind of like a horror movie because, you know, the animals are coming out of nowhere. Not only that, but, like, the special effects in that film, they still hold up today. But, like, with it being a classic film, there was a lot of practicality to the shots. And this shit, no, don't get me wrong, there was like, it looks like there's gonna be a lot of practical effects and shit in here. but like at the same time, it's like, I don't know. I like kind of like the twist, but at the same time, it's like just holding it up to the original Jumanji. That's my problem. It's like I'm trying to differentiate this from the old one, you know what I mean? But with the title of Jumanji, I'm obviously gonna have Robin Williams and that fucking board game pop up. The Hunter. You remember the Stampede scene, bro? Like, oh yeah, you remember that shit? When it was like all the rhinos and shit. It's a stampede. It's a stampede. And they're all running out.
Basically, you're saying like nothing can really beat the original.
Yeah, it's like nothing can beat the original, but I think this is gonna be a cool interpretation.
So it's like up there in the level of the original.
No, not up there in the level of the original, but I think it's gonna be like
Close to.
It's gonna be a movie that has the name Jumanji on there. Like, I think, I don't know, man, because nostalgia is fucking me up. See, that's the thing. Nostalgia is hitting me with this movie. You know what I mean? So every time I think of Jumanji, I'm sorry, like, here.
So basically,
I gotta, hang on, wait, I'm gonna turn this camera. So, because me and my brother, we're having like an actual in-depth conversation about Jumanji.
Jumanji. Wait, why does this feel like a talk show?
I know it does. This feels like a talk show now. Hey there, guys. DeAndre Yates here. Jimmy Fallon, guys. No.
Basically, saying when you hear Jumanji, you're thinking of the classic type, but when you see this trailer, like, this is not what I was expecting.
Yeah, it's like, I was thinking there was going to be like some sort of reference to the original movie in some sort of way, but I don't know. This kind of just looks like Central Intelligence 2 to me, and that's not a bad, I mean, it's a bad thing in terms of it being Jumanji, but it's not a bad thing in terms of the comedy, because obviously Jumanji is a funny film. The original Jumanji film was funny, but like, I don't know, man. I don't know. What about you? What did you think of the trailer?
Pretty good. Some people these days are like starting to mess up movies because they try to make the original, but they try to make it better, but they don't know what the people actually want. They're trying to make what they think what people want instead of actually asking the people of what they want to see.
That's right. It's like they try to make the same film. Like with remakes, Hollywood either tries to make the exact same film they did 20, 30 years ago, or they try to take what they think is funny and what will give them a lot of money and throw that in there. And they just have like a whole bunch of slapstick comedy instead of like having like the comedy come from the characters and through the story. You know what I mean? Instead of putting the characters in funny situations, they just have the characters just throw all of this fucking slapstick, ha ha, he, you know what I mean? It's so funny, it's so funny, it's so funny. But a lot of times when they try to throw that slapstick comedy at us, it's not always funny. You know what I mean?
Basically, they're mostly thinking about the money that they're trying to make, not actually thinking what people want to see.
Okay, that's an interesting statement. He says that they're thinking about the money instead of the fans. And I think you're onto something. I think they're trying to make a profit, and this is something that I believe in, but I don't know if Hollywood would ever do this. Sometimes you have to think about the fans first, because it's the fans that give you that money. You know what I mean? It's the fans that are buying all your merchandise, and you know, the fans essentially are your profit. And so you got to keep them happy with giving them entertaining stories and fresh new ideas. Now, with that said, Jumanji was fucking amazing. I think what they should have done is made an entirely new type of game scenario, you know what I mean, without it being Jumanji. Because if you notice, they did that with Zathura, which is also written by the same person that wrote the Jumanji book. They should have made a whole nother type of like board game or video game, you know what I mean, with a completely new title. Because I kind of feel like they chose Jumanji because, you know, there's people like me that have that nostalgia, Jumanji. that are just gonna go see it based off the title alone. You know what I mean? And the premise is different. It's inside the jungle, but like, I don't know, man. Like, with it being in the jungle, like, are we gonna see stuff that was in the original film? Like, are we gonna see some of the original animals, if we're gonna notice them at all? Like, well, how are we gonna see the huntsman? You know what I mean? Are they gonna like CGI him into the film or something like that?
What if there's like a person from the first Jumanji that's like got trapped in the world and it's like in now not Jumanji, but they also had a picture of Robin Williams from the first time. That
would be cool. So like, if they had like a picture of Robin Williams, or if Robin Williams, you know, his character Alan Parsh, I think that was his name. It'd be cool if like Alan was mentioned in this world or some sort of way. I don't know, but I really hope that, like I said, I think this is going to be an okay film. I hope it is, because, you know, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and Kevin Hart, they're both funny characters. But I just think they should have chose a different title. Like, this should have been like, you know, from the studio that brought you Jumanji and the studio that also brought you Zathura, you know what I mean? Or like, you know, they should have just had those two titles kind of pegged, and then they should have made another title. Because, I don't know, man, like I said, Jumanji, it's so nostalgic. Like, that film is just such a big film. It just took place in the 90s, and it was also a time travel movie because, like, when he got sucked into the board game, Robin Williams, he was a kid, it was during the 60s, but then, like 20 or 30 years later, it's during the 90s, and so, like, that's when he escapes, but then they beat the board game, and then it goes all the way back to the 60s, so, like, everything that happened in the movie just never fucking happened. It's like an alternate universe thing. It's like a Rick and Morty paradox. That's what makes the original film so good. Rick and Morty shit happens, alright? So, God, Rick and Morty. Morty.
Basically, I'm thinking that people in Hollywood, they're making, like, they don't really spend a lot of time in the movie. They hold it back until release it, so they get more people interested in it.
Yeah, so like they'll announce this trailer and then the movie won't come out until like next year. Yeah, so it'll probably come out later this year, but that's what Hollywood does a lot of times. Like with Batman v Superman, the announcement trailer for like the San Diego Comic-Con footage came out in 2013, and that movie came out like fucking last year, 2 years ago. So that's fucking crazy, man. I don't know. I don't like that. Like when they just overhype movies and then they come out and then they're just bombs. So
basically the same thing with video games. They try to take movies and make it the video games, but the people do the video games, they don't really know the original story of the movie.
Yeah.
They try to add stuff in there that wasn't in the movie. It kind of makes it like less interesting because it says it's supposed to be just like the movie, but there's more stuff.
But it's not the movie, yeah. And the movies do that too with video games. So it's like, you know, movies based off of video games aren't that good a lot of times. And then, you know, video games based off of movies aren't that good. It's weird. It's like both mediums are very successful, but whenever they try to cross over with each other, it just fails. So that's why we both need to get down to Hollywood, man, because we got crazy cool ideas. Yeah, we're cool people. We're just too cool. Two cool black guys talking on the camera, bruh. But as always, guys, if you like my reaction, then be sure to like and share this video for me. And if you're going to do all that, and have you leave a comment, tell me what you react to in the future. And if you're going to do all that, how would you hit that subscribe button and join the family, guys? That's Kajal. I'm DeAndre. This was Jumanji. And, yeah, that's an upside down Gotham poster. My posters are upside down because I was doing a movie on my iPhone. But my iPhone broke, so guess I'm not doing that movie anymore. So I just haven't changed them back. But yeah, I'll talk to you guys later, man. And yeah, peace!